Testing. Good morning, everybody. Do you know you're in church after that prelude? Bravo, brava, Reiko. It's wonderful to have you all here at worship this morning. I'm Vanessa Southern. I am the senior minister of this First Unitarian Universalist Society of San Francisco, sharing the chancel this morning with my beloved colleague, the Reverend Alyson Jacks, and our beloved worship associate, Sam King, and everybody else who helped make this service possible, Don Shearer and Eric Shackelford on the camera, Jonathan Silk making all things AV possible, and all of the people who have helped make the building ready and the preparations ready for this service, which you'll hear a little bit more about later today. If you're joining us on Livestream, a special welcome. If you're here in the sanctuary, welcome. I'm glad you all have your coats on this truly winter day in San Francisco. I'd like to welcome a couple special guests here. My very, very, very dear friend from college, Andrew Myers, and his husband, David Desmond, who are here today. We're trying to contain them so they don't get into too much mischief, so you'll just help me with that. It's so great to have you both here. Do we have any other guests who are here with us for the first time? You can just raise your hand, because then we'll make you hang out with David and Andrew. Just kidding. It's wonderful to have you here. If you're at home, the order of service is available for you to download. Please do so you can follow along. And there is a connections form in the pew, and also that you can visit a connections form that you can access that will allow you to get the order of service and the link for the services and all other information that you might need easily kind of sent into your email each week. I want to let you know our offering this morning is going to be split between two organizations, Save the Redwoods, which since 1918 has worked to protect and restore redwood forests and continue to keep us all connected to the beauty and the legacy of those forests, and is appropriate today in a service that we'll be celebrating nature and solstice. And also because of the incredible devastation in Kentucky, we're going to be taking the offering also to help grassroots organizations in Kentucky do some of the work of supporting people after that. So the baskets will be in the back as you transition a couple of times today, and if you're at home, you can send in a check or give online and just mark it special offering and this date, 12/19. A reminder that Christmas Eve service is at 4:45, just as the sun is setting, and if you haven't already reserved a place, we may be at capacity, I think. There will be a few overflow spaces in our Thomas Starr King rooms, so if you want to come and wait at the door and try and get into one of those spots, that's great, but of course it'll all be on Livestream. And finally, I will be leading worship on the 26th, so we will be having worship here at 11 on the 26th. So this service is both ancient and modern. It has some of its roots in New Jersey, where I came right before I was here with you all in San Francisco, where the Princeton Church and then the Summit Church started this service of celebrating solstice and this time when we're transitioning from winter to spring, and in a really festive and intergenerational and creative way. We did it 2019, right before shutdown. And of course, our own pagan interest circle always celebrates solstice, as they did last night. So you can always avail yourself of that opportunity to enter deep into the season. And so this is another way to celebrate this time when in the Northern Hemisphere, the nights grow long and the days grow short. In places where this happened across the globe, humankind, it seems like, has always evolved these rituals of aligning itself with life, and the life, in part, that's still visible and available, as a way to invite back the sun and the warmth and the spring and attend to that sense of what we're at the mercy of in winter that feels so jarring sometimes. And part of that involved some of the rituals that we'll do today, the hanging of the greens. So welcome. This is always an exercise in controlled chaos, so welcome to the controlled creative chaos. As we begin our worship, we will light our blue candle, which we have since the day of the stay-at-home order in March of 2020, in honor of all those who aren't with us here in body, but bring them here in spirit until such time as we can all be together here again. So join with me, if you would, in lighting our chalice and saying the words that are printed in your order of service, this symbol of our faith. We light this chalice for the light of truth, the warmth of love, and the fire of commitment. We light this symbol of our faith as we gather together. Just so you know, whenever Alyson or I are speaking this morning without our masks, we are double vaccinated and took a COVID test this morning, so we hope you're all particularly safe.
Our opening reading for this morning is Green, Green, Green by Thomas Alburn. Green, green, green again and greener still. This is our dream for winter. The evergreens have been symbolic for a long, long time of life and hope amidst the winter. Long before the birth of Christ, people in Northern Europe celebrated the winter solstice with bonfires on hilltops and evergreen boughs and even whole trees in their tribal halls. If trees could maintain their green life through the long, cold nights of winter, surely the sun could turn in its course and climb the sky again and bring summer once more.
Earrings are challenging sometimes. Good morning, everyone. It's so good to have you here this morning. Next Tuesday is the solstice, the shortest day of the year. Since the Egyptians, humans have gathered up greens to bring into their homes after solstice. A reminder that even in the cold of winter, nature continues to thrive. For the ancient Egyptians, it was date palms. The fir and the pine tree in Europe and North America came to stand as symbols that life carries on, even in the harshest of times, and spring would come. In ancient times, the holly was supposed to be such a symbol. While other plants wilted in the winter weather, holly remained green and strong, its berries bright colored red in the harshest of conditions. Holly has been utilized in many rituals relating to death and rebirth and seasonal mysteries. And holly, brought into the home during Yuletide, was known to welcome the fairy folk to shelter indoors during the cold of winter.
This is why we bring fir trees and pine branches and holly into our homes at this time of the year, in a ritual far older than Christmas. And there were other magical plants that were associated also with the season, like pomanders, those oranges or clementines with cloves in them. That's the common way we know them, modern iteration. Long ago, they were made of dried herbs, often mixed with some different ingredients, something from Wales that I couldn't get hold of for today. And they definitely were believed to counteract not only bad smells, that was the obvious one, but more interestingly, they were thought to have medicinal use. They were thought to cleanse the air and to protect one from pestilence that lurked there. So they were popular during the Black Plague in Europe, when the air was thought to make some people sick. So appropriate for this year. You might say all these decorations then remind us all to have faith in the life that we can't always see at winter, finding the places that we can see it, and reminding ourselves of all the ways in which we know we can survive the seasons with all its challenges.
Today, we celebrate the evergreen of pine and fir and holly and ivy in a week when light balances against dark and winter tips towards spring. Today, we pay homage to the solstice and all the ways it calls us to remember and hold faith with life. And in this spirit, we invite you to join us in celebration of making garlands and pomanders, making music, and doing our part to keep spirits bright. Well, how are we going to do this? Well, we're fortunate to have Alan Biggs here with us today in the music-making merrymaking. So appreciative. Alan, if you don't know, has played in our services over many, many years, and it's lovely to have you back for this one. And while they are not in the space, we did get to enjoy them. Our choir, who I'm sure we can hear your applause. If you applaud loudly enough, they'll hear it down there. We're so grateful to them and to Mark Sumner for being part of the Making Merry today. And then there's all of you who are going to be part of the the merrymaking today. And here's how it's going to go. Don't move yet, but we're going to start with the folks on the lectern side. And I'm going to ask Courtney Young-Law and Erica Murray to just come up towards the front so you can see who they are. And what's going to happen is when we give you the cue, Erica and Courtney are going to invite the folks on the lectern side to leave the sanctuary and to head out the doors and down the gallery to the TSK room, Thomas Starr King room, and the Martin Luther King room, where we are ready to make garlands and our fresheners are, how do you say it?
It's pomander.
Pomanders. And we have wonderful little elves down there ready to help you, our lead teachers for our Sunday school program who've done this with me for the last few years. So they're very skilled at making merry and garland making and ornament making, and they're really excited to have you down there. So we're going to have the TSK folks, the folks on the lectern side go first, and we'll have about 15 minutes in that space. Well, what about all of you? Were you wondering what's going to happen to you? Well, that's where Alan comes in. We are going to be making music together, and Alan has, as you can see, some percussion instruments, and we have some additional percussion instruments, and you may notice that there are bells up here. And so for those who are on this side, you're going to be part of the music merrymaking, and Alan will be leading you in that, so just you're going to stay put. And there will be opportunities to come up, play bells. We've got shakers, and I'm sure Alan will invite you into all kinds of interesting percussion experiences. So we're going to do that for about 15 minutes, and then you'll see me kind of coming in and out, and I will have a bell that will be the cue that we're about to shift, because then those who are garland makers will come back in and become music makers, and those of you who have been music makers will become garland makers, and that second group will be the ones that will actually bring in the greens to hang in the sanctuary. So that's a lot of instruction. Oh, there's even more. Okay. So Vanessa wanted me to remind you, like, well, don't we usually sing when we do this? Well, we'd love to be singing, but because of safety protocols and to keep us all safe in this week before Christmas, we are doing percussion instead, which is a beautiful form of music. And, you know, the body is very much involved. So while you may not be singing, you will be actually using that instrument of your body as part of the music making. So, and the bells. Say again?
And then we'll sing at the end.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought I heard someone yell a question out. So, okay, so those are the instructions. Raise your hand if that was clear. Good. Wow. Very impressed. Thank you. So the last piece is about the offertory. So as Vanessa mentioned, we have the offering this morning is going to be supporting two organizations, the Save the Redwoods League, which has been around since 1918, protecting our beautiful forests, in particular our redwood forests here in California, and also for the Tornado Relief Fund. And so we're going to have baskets outside the sanctuary doors for those of you who are in the first group going out. If you would like to make a contribution, the baskets will be there for you to collect your funds. And then same with the second group. When you go out, the baskets will be there. And of course, you can donate online through Vanco. You can also mail a check for Vanco. Just put in special offering, is that it? And then on a memo section just to say it's for the service for the 19th. That is a lot of instructions, don't you think? I think it's time for me to make some music. So let's see. I have an idea. Alan, I'm going to ask you to help out with this. To get people out? Well, maybe you can percuss along with Reiko while she's playing whatever she's playing, if you're inspired. So we're going to have Courtney and Erica there, and so everybody who's on, if you aren't playing bells, you're going to follow them out. You can go down center aisle or far aisle, and then just follow them out, and we'll bring you into the Thomas Starr King room, and you all have fun making music in here.
Not to lose a second at all. Yeah, Alan will lead this, but just so that you'll have something musical to perform with, I'll be at the piano, and Ben is going to actually do the singing of the song so that you can relate to the song as you do the percussion. So let me just turn it over to Alan, and be ready.
Great. Good morning, everybody. I'm really excited to be here and play some music with you. And depending on your comfort level, if you'd like to stand up, that's great. If you'd like to remain seated, that's terrific. What I'd like to start with is the oldest and my favorite percussion instrument, our bodies. So in order to get warmed up, let's go ahead and do 2 snaps. 1, 2, 3. Exactly. So we have a large group, and in order to play music together as an ensemble, I'll count 3, and then we'll do 2 snaps. 1, 2, 3. Good. And I see that you're alternating. That's great. And then we're going to do 2 claps. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Okay. Now we are going to do 2 slaps on our leg. 1, 2, 3. Good. And finally, we're going to do 2 stomps with either foot. Or you can alternate if you like. 1, 2, 3. Good. So we have 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, right? Yeah? Okay, great. Now that you're all warmed up, we're going to go like this. Okay? All right? And we'll go a little slower. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now do that again and add a clap at the end. So let me demonstrate for you. It'll go like this. 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Good. And how do you get good at music? You practice. So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Okay, so now this is going to be really easy. And Mark, if you would just, could you play that sort of those first 2 measures for us? Good. And we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Great. Okay, Mark, you would lead us in.
Yeah. Here's the introduction.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Great. Thank you. Does that make sense? Okay. Now make it your own rather than just following my instructions, which you're doing really, really well. Just add your own. You can add a little extra movement to it, a little style, whatever you want to do, okay? And it's okay to have fun. You're officially entitled to have fun right here and right now, okay? So let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
We come from the mountain.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Great. Terrific. That's really, really great. And we're matching the phrasing and the music really well, and that's terrific. So now, if you feel like you want to add something else, we can add another element so you can explore your body percussion when we do this all together. And you can also play a shaker if you like. So I'm going to come around and we're going to, if you'd like, you can take a shaker as well. Oh, thanks, Mark. I guess, yeah. Okay, great. And if you would, probably take 1 just to make sure we have enough. Star, you're a star, so you get to have 2. And once you have your shaker, go ahead and explore. Just see how it makes sound. How do you do that? Yeah. And listen to Mark playing the piano and see how you can fit in with that. Do you want to go the same tempo? Do you want to go twice as fast as 8 notes? Do you want to do something different? And just go ahead and play around with it. Play music. Just explore your instrument. And Mark, could you play a little bit for us? Go ahead and play your shaker. And I'm going to play along as well. Fantastic. Really, really good rehearsal, everybody. So now we have our body percussion, right? And then at some point, you can pick up your shaker and move to that. And you can go back and just use your ear and your musical intuition to decide what you want to do and change it back and forth. There's no wrong or right. And you'll notice that Reiko has some bell ringers over here. And so, as a musician, what we always try to do is listen to all the elements going on. So make sure when you're playing your percussion that you can hear the bells. Make sure you can hear our singer and eventually our choir. And make sure you can hear the piano. And if you do that, then we're making music together. Okay? So let's do one more rehearsal where we'll start with our 2 snaps, 2 claps, 2 taps, 2 stomps. And then, after we've done that twice, move to your shaker. Okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
From the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world
now
around.
shaker.
We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Oh, so is life.
Back to body percussion.
Oh, so is life. So is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you
Shaker.
are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do
Body percussion.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, please. 1, 2, 1, 2, please. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Fantastic. That was great. Really good rehearsal, everybody. Really, really good. Okay, we're ready. Ready for our performance. Okay, since Mark liked that so much, let's go do our body percussion piece at a rapid tempo. Okay, so we're going to do 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of those. We'll do it again and add a clap at the end. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. And let's do all of that again. Ready, go. Good. You are ready and warmed up and ready to make some merry sounds. Terrific. Okay. Should we run the whole piece?
Yeah, and there's, if you look at the postlude at the end of the order of service, take a gander there. You'll see at the postlude, there's a section of this hymn that we do rather frequently, and you have the words, welcome from the fire, welcome from the water, we come from the mountain. And that ideally that would be when you're doing the body percussion. And then we go into a whoa, so is life, ah, whoa. And the do you know who I am section, I think, is conceived with all of the shaking. And then we go back to a section where you just hear me play a chord, and it sounds like you're alone without any music, but that's when we need the rhythm the most. Do you see later where you sing, water make the river wash the mountain, and all of that, heart is of the river? That would be another section where I don't play, but it's just you and our soloist making the music. So that would be an important thing to remember. So don't get anxious there, but enjoy that section particularly when we get to the water, heart, and we are of the Spirit, so that we hear the Spirit from you. And then it will end with a big, carefree, whoa section where we sing whoa, I think 4 times. Whoa, so is life, abatiwa, so is life, whoa, so is life, abatiwa, ha. It's like that section there. So we sing whoa 4 times at the end to give it the big finish that a song often needs. So I just wanted to mention that. Okay. Great. So we're trying all the way through?
Sure. So now let's try through the entire piece of music and enjoy. And in general, if you're not sure, just keep playing and you add to the great energy that we're creating together. So we'll start out with body percussion, then we'll go to shaker. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
The fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Oh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Oh, so is life. Ah, so
back to our
is life.
hands.
Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who
And
you
shaker.
are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Oh, so is life about you are. So is life. Oh, so is life. Ah, so
Back to our
is
hands.
life. Water make the river, river wash the mountain, fire make the sun, turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit, only can the Spirit turn
Shaker.
the world around. Oh, so is life about you are. Ah, so is life. Oh, so is life about you are. Ah, so is life. Whoa, so is life about you are. Ah, so is life. Whoa, so is life about you are. Ah, so is life.
Great. Give yourselves a round of applause. Terrific. try to keep your instrument warmed up, and then we will be performing later on. Good job, everybody.
Jonathan? Okay, thank you. At this point, since you're so well rehearsed, I think we can let you now enter or head into the green room, the greenery room, and then make way for our next set of musicians. Take the eggs with you, that way your hands and those eggs are yours for the morning, and bring them back, of course. So we'll see you in about 20 minutes, and we'll put this all together. Thank you very much. Good job, everyone. Yeah, officially, yes. This side of the room would be the ones heading over to Thomas Tarking Room for the activity there. And now we have the official rehearsal with this side of the room and the bells. So this will be a bell-led rehearsal coming up. How many bells do we have to share? Lots? Okay, great. There'll be instructions, actually. Bell choir, if you could give instructions as people are approaching you, like they're hungry. It'll be a bell-led rehearsal. It'll be a bell. Yes.
Right.
Not quite, actually. It's. No, you can go to the green room. You don't have to have your holly in the ivory. Those that are arriving, welcome. Head over to the bell tables. Reiko, I will play Holly and the Ivy. As you come down, you can take over this part of the rehearsal as people are arriving.
morning, everyone who just joined us. Thank you for being here. And what I'd like to do right now is I'd like to do some percussion with you. Feel free to stand or to sit, whatever you're comfortable. First thing we're going to do are 2 snaps, 2 claps, 2 taps, and 2 stomps. So it'll go like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. Let's do that again. One, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. Do it again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Great. Terrific. Okay? So that's fantastic. And then, come on, we're going to pass some eggs around to you, a shaker. And when you get your shaker, we're going to play again and just explore how you can make sound with that. I love this because it's the world's laziest percussion instrument. You get 2 sounds for just moving it once. I love that. So we're going to hand these out now. And then as you get it, we're going to just play and just explore how to make sound with that.
Do we have extra bells for anyone who wants to play a bell? Yeah, make sure everyone has something, a bell or an egg. I think she's almost ready to do it. Yeah, I guess I would model shaking.
Yeah, yeah. And now the shaker people, would you shake yours? Yes. Okay, great. Nice.
So those with shakers and body percussion, follow Alan. He'll be modeling when to do which. That way we're like an ensemble. And Reiko, let me know when you're ready to try a run with the music. Okay? Cool. Here we go.
Okay, so we'll start out with the body percussion and just have your egg handy, and then we'll switch over. Yeah. Here we go.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Whoa, so we the mountain. Fire make the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain. Spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the Spirit, truly of the Spirit. Only can the Spirit turn the world around. Oh, so is life a mighty one. So is life. Oh, so is life a mighty one. So is life. Oh, so is life a mighty one. So is life. Oh, so is life a mighty one. So is life.
Great. Very good. Excellent. We're ready. This group
So
is
if
very
you'll
well
if you'll
rehearsed.
take, just so you'll know, if for those of you that are perfectionists, and I know we have them in our midst, if you'll look at the order of service, the postlude, we have the actual words of that hymn, and I think the conception was that on those opening welcome, we come from the fire, we come from the water, we come from the mountain. That's when you would do the
The body percussion.
parts. And then when we sing the whoa sections and the ah sections and the do you know, that's kind of where we go fun with the shakers and improvisation. Again, though, anything works almost in this song. But then later there's a section where you don't hear anything out of the piano. It's just you. So that's when we really need water make the river, river wash the mountain, fire make the sunlight turn the world around. That's where we could use, I think, the business again. So when we have all of those words, those verses, I think that's conceived to be that. And then at the end, where we really need all of us to be together, is we sing the woe 4 times. And after the 4th time, we have the big ending. And that's how the piece will finish today. Okay? Shall we do one more run through?
Yes.
Reiko, I'm just doing the introduction once. The introduction is just once. Yeah. When Brielle comes in, that's the beginning, obviously, after 2 measures.
And trust your intuition and just play what feels right and enjoy.
Here's the introduction. Warm up.
Here we go.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living on the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Ooh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Ooh, so is life. Ah, so is life. Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? See we one another clearly. Do we know who we are? Do you know who I am? Do I know who you are? Do you know who I am? Do we know who we are? Ooh, so is life a butty one. So is life. Ooh, so is life a butty one. So is life. Water make the river, river wash the mountain. Fire make the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the spirit, truly of the spirit, only can the spirit turn the world around. Ooh, so is life a but one. So is life. Ooh, so is life a but one. So is life.
Terrific. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Great rehearsal.
Who are at home, we just want to tell you that we hope you're enjoying this, but if you'd been here, you would enjoy it even more. Isn't that right, everybody? Yeah. Woo!
If trees could maintain their green life through the long, cold nights of winter, surely the sun could turn in its course and climb the sky again and bring summer once more. The bonfires and supplications had always worked in the past, and surely they would work now. They did. They still work. This month, the sun will turn back from the abyss and climb the sky towards summer. Green, green, and green again, and greener still.
We did it. Woo! I love it. So the song that you all just learned with some extra zest and rattle this morning also seemed perfect for today. Just that idea first of the world turning and this wheel of seasons that we're paying homage to today fit beautifully together. The one constant in life being change, quite literally, naturally. And we also read a little bit of the history of the song. The song, Turn the World Around, was the lead track of an album, and it also became the most popular track on an album by Harry Belafonte that he did in the late 70s. And there was a famous broadcast of that cultural critique paradigm of broadcasting, The Muppet Show. and Belafonte appeared and did an interview and did a performance of the song. The performance had puppets that were specially designed to resemble African tribal masks, and he was asked about all of it. He said that this is a world that always dances around division and competition, though its only hope for being knit whole is to see our true interdependence. He said, and I quote, "I discovered that song in Africa. I was in a country called Guinea, and I went deep into the interior of the country. In a little village, I met with a storyteller. That storyteller went way back into African tradition, into African mythology. He began to tell a story about fire, which means the sun, about water, about earth, and he pointed out how all these things put together turn the world around, and that all of us are here for a very, very short time. And in that time that we are here, there really isn't any difference between any of us. If we take the time to understand each other, we'd know that. And the question is, do I know who you are? Do you know who I am? Do we care about each other? Because if we do, together we can turn the world around. So may this season awaken all the wisdom of this time, of the wisdom of the ages in us, in its turning, in what we come to know in these long nights, bound as we are to the fire of the sun, the water, and to one another. Like so many ancient traditions have, each in their own way, in these nights, let us now sing and dance and drum the world over the precipice of winter into the glory of spring. So let's get ready to turn the world around.
If you could find your instruments, find your positions, warm up your hands. If Harry bells to the Fonte side of the room, that was my little, I know, had to say it. And get ready for this. I suggest you all look at Alan for this, because he will be modeling what you need to do at any particular time, but in the end, it doesn't matter. Just enjoy yourselves. Yes. Ben and Brielle will sing from the lectern and the pulpit, and here we go.
We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around. We come from the mountain, living in the mountain. Go back to the mountain, turn the world around. Oh, so do make the sunlight turn the world around. Heart is of the river, body is the mountain, spirit is the sunlight, turn the world around. We are of the spirit, truly of the spirit, only can the spirit turn the world around. Whoa, so is like the mighty water.
Now, don't go anywhere, bell people. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We're going to need you for the postlude.
Well, that was some making it merry. Congratulations, good job. Thank you to all our musicians. Thank you to all our merry makers. I offer these closing words. For those who celebrated the solstice long ago, the universe and its workings were shrouded in mystery. For those who see daily their dependence on the natural world, the waters, the forests and plains, and places that inspire reverence, may we reawaken to reverence and to all that reawakens in us. Dear ones, happy solstice to you all.
Okay, our COVID advisory team says we get to sing the last hymn. So rise as you're able in body and spirit, and let's sing Deck the Halls.
Thank you.